good day to everyone who are attended in this third international conference on recent trends in multidisciplinary research. I'm Professor Jake Rodriguez Pomperada, Science Research Specialist 2 of Technological University of the Philippines, Visayas, City of Talisay, Negros Occidental, Philippines. I am your keynote speaker on the topic on instructional technology, the new approach in education. Before anything else, I would like to say thank you very much to Ms. Pooja Prakashan, Scientific Relations of Institute for Engineering Research and Publication, for inviting me as one of your keynote speaker in this conference. Thank you very much for this opportunity that you have given me. So let me proceed with my presentation. Introduction. The advancement in technology have a profound effect on the way we learn and way we teach to our students. Technology is for effective when used together. This is primarily true in this age of information technology, where education and technology is working hand in hand. In this illustration, we have here a picture of a parent and a child engaging in a exercise based on the television video. And then we have also here communicate and learning through the use of tablet and also create. What is technology? Technology is the sum of techniques, skills, methods, and processes used in the production of goods or services, or in the accomplishment of objectives such as scientific investigation. The definition of technology is science or knowledge put into practical use to solve problems or invent useful tools. Technology is the knowledge that makes the technological process possible. It consists of facts and procedures necessary to order and manipulate matter, energy, and information, as well as how to discover new means for transformations. What is instructional technology? The Association of Educational Communications and Technology, AACT, defines instructional technology as the theory and practices and design, development, utilization, management, and evaluation of processes and resources for learning. Silber described instructional as the development of instructional systems, components, messages, people, materials, devices, techniques, settings, and the management of the development in a systematic manner with a goal of solving educational problems. According to Tecton, instructional technology is a way of designing, carry out, and evaluating the total processes of learning and teaching in terms of specific objectives based on research in human learning and communication, and employing a combination of human and non-human resources to bring about more effective instruction. Difference between information technology and instructional technology. Instructional technology is not the same as information technology. Although both are commonly abbreviated as IT, whereas information technology is a broad-based, overarching category of technology very familiar to the business community, instructional technology is a bit more obscure. Experts also point out that instructional technology is not synonymous with digital training. Instead, it is a body of theory about a field of technology that has various characteristics, including applied intellectual techniques, established disciplines, and academic value. Uses of instructional technology. According to the U.S. Department of Education, schools can use educational technology to support both teaching and learning by infusing the classroom with valuable digital tools, expanding course offerings, increasing student engagement, and accelerating learning. Instructional technology offers nearly endless applications, but experts have identified three key areas where integrating technology can have a significant impact. First, collaborative learning. With the use of instructional technology, teachers and students together can collaborate with a certain project at school without a physical contact in a single place, with the use of video conferencing, for example, or the use of the internet of exchanging communications in work. Second, virtual classrooms and online learning. And then third, we have here real-time feedback. So we have here evolution of learning, use technology for teaching and learning. So before, we have here the blackboard, whiteboard marker, transparency slides, and overhead projector. With the integration of computers, and then we have already here the PowerPoint presentation, or computer aided instruction and web-based learning tool, video conference, e-classroom, wireless technology, and innovative technology. Why use technology in education? According to Peck and Doricott, technological tools can foster students' abilities, revolutionize the way they work and think, and give them new access to the world. It influences student academic performance. Second, develop high-order thinking and problem-solving skills. It improves students' motivations, attitudes, and interest in learning. Fourth, help to prepare students for the workforce. And lastly, fifth, technology creates opportunities for students to do meaningful work. So we can say that technology has made learning easy, interactive, and interesting. Benefits of using instructional technology in the classroom. We have here several benefits of using instructional technology inside the classroom to augment learning by the students. First, improves knowledge retention among students. Second, encourages individual learning. Third, encourages collaborations. Fourth, students can learn useful life skills through technology. And then lastly, fifth, benefits for teachers. We have here 7 characteristics of teachers who effectively use technology. First, they always start with the why, asking question. Second, they are malleable and can easily adapt. Third, they embrace change. It means that using technology, they know and understand that change is inevitable, so they have to learn how to use the technology to help or instrument in teaching among their students. Fourth, they share. Fifth, they think win-win. Sixth, they are thorough and think ahead. And lastly, number 7, they actively are. What does technology work? First, directly supports the curriculum objectives. Second, provides opportunities for students' collaboration. Third, adjusts for student ability, prior experiences, provides feedback. Fourth, is integrated into the instructional day. Fifth, provides opportunities for students to design and implement projects. And lastly, we have here is used in environments where teachers, the school community, and the district support the use of technology. The need of instructional technology. Instructional technology allows the teacher to determine how to best integrate technology with various learning styles that would be effective in teaching every student in the class. Teachers should try to find avenues that would allow them to help all students master the intended curriculum. Furthermore, technology is the bridge between the teacher and the students. Its utilization in class is an indicator of what technology will be like for future generations. We have also here other reason: motivates, provide unique instructional capabilities, supports new instructional approaches, increase teachers' productivity, required skills for an information age. So we have here in this particular portion of my presentation about tree of knowledge. So here we can clearly see the different types of technology in approaches of learning and teaching by the tools by the teacher that uses instructional technology as an approach in delivering instruction in teaching their topic to their respective classes. Okay, we have here learning management system. A learning management system, or LMS, is a software application for the administration, documentation, tracking, reporting, automation, and delivery of educational courses, training programs, or learning and development programs. The learning management system concept emerged directly from e-learning or electronic learning. Although the first LMS appeared in higher education sector, the majority of the LMS today focus on the corporate market. Learning management systems made up the largest segment of learning system market. The first introduction of LMS was in late 1990s. We have here examples of learning management system are the following: Google Classroom, Neo LMS, Schoology, and Moodle. This learning management system is being utilized right now because of this pandemic COVID-19 crisis. So most of the classes is being performed on a distance learning or e-learning. So this different learning management system is being utilized in different parts of the world, different countries, to conduct their classes among the teachers and their prospective students. We have also here video conferencing. So video conferencing is a technology that allows users in different location to communicate to one another without move to a single location together. This technology is particularly useful in different user in different cities, even different countries, because it saves time, expenses, and hassles associated with business travel. Uses for video conferences include holding route meetings, negotiating business deals, and interviewing job candidates. We have here one of the most popular video conferencing application, that is Zoom. Popular video conferencing application Zoom meetings have been risen to prominence in recent months. With the widespread transition to remote working, it's used primarily by businesses to host meetings with remote or international colleagues and clients. The basic version is also completely free of charge. Zoom video conferencing is celebrated for its ease of use, high quality video or HD and audio, and collaboration facilities such as text chat, and screen sharing. Attendees can also join in a Zoom meeting without signing into the app, but must sign up for an account to host a video conference. With the ongoing pandemic forcing many of us inside, Zoom video conferencing has also become the new means of keeping in touch with friends and families. A select few have been even held their weddings over Zoom. The Zoom app is available in all major desktop and mobile operating systems including Windows, macOS, Android, and iOS operating systems. So we have here another video conferencing application, that is Google Meet app or Google Meet. Is a video conferencing app. It is the business-oriented version of Google's Hangout platform. It is suitable for businesses of all sizes. The solution enables users to make video calls with up to 30 users per high-definition video meetings. The app allows users to join pre-scheduled meetings from calendar events, choose a link, enter meetings code, and even dial in their phones if the invitation includes a phone number. Google Meet integrates with G Suite versions of Google Calendar and Gmail and shows the complete list of participants and scheduled meetings. It shows a join button for users to connect to the meeting and provides options to mute or turn off the video during the meeting. Google Meet allows users to dial in phone numbers to access meetings, thus enabling users with slow or no internet connection to call in. However, dial-in numbers are only available to the G Suite Enterprise Edition customers. We have here also Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams is a proprietary business communication platform developed by Microsoft as part of the Microsoft 365 family of products. Teams primarily competes with the similar service Slack, offering workspace, chat, and video conferencing, file storage, and application integration. Teams is replacing other Microsoft-operated business messaging and collaboration platforms, including Skype for Business and Microsoft Classroom. Microsoft announced Teams at the event in New York and launched the service worldwide on March 14, 2017. It has created during an internal hackathon in the company headquarters, and it is currently led by Microsoft Corporate and Vice President Brian McDonald. So we have here also the different devices used in instructional technology: computers, laptops, tablets, smartphones. According to JobTap and Bard, the use of computers, laptops, tablets, and smartphones are being used to view, store, send, and retrieve information and knowledge from the distant sources, also for presenting lesson of lecture. Laptops can help students stay organized and remember the varsity work. The scholars can easily review their work with one place. They will edit, change, and replicate their work. They will also send their work via email. The students can learn writing skills, creativity, communication, and cooperation by using technology in learning. So it's improved the student skills and competencies. The computers, like laptops, can facilitate the work for both teachers and therefore the students. They increase the interaction among the scholars, the teachers, and therefore the parents. The students can obtain high quality information. They will develop their autonomy. They going to have greater attentiveness. They going to get individualized, differentiated learning. The students will engage the interactive and meaningful learning using multimedia support. they're going to develop ICT skills and they will learn more. Using technology in learning are going to be a positive impact on the varsity achievement. And it will break down the barriers between the varsity and therefore the society. We have also here email. Email or electronic mail is also being utilized in instructional technology as a form of transmitting communications in work both by the teachers and then the students. Electronic mail or email is a method of exchanging messages between people using electronic devices. Teachers and students worldwide are beginning to use this ability to talk to each other. Emailing back and forth with another classroom also provides excellent opportunities for students to practice their writing skills for real-life purpose. In addition, email can assist students with literacy in language learning using email exchanges and online writing exercises. The authentic learning provided by collaboration with peers gets students excited about school. When students use email, it also increases motivation through self-directed and collaborative learning. What is web-based instruction? Web-based instruction has evolved from any number of computer-based instructional methods often referred to as computer-assisted instruction or K, computer-aided instruction, CAL, computer-managed instruction CMI, internet-based instruction IBI, or web-based instruction WBI, but collectively called computer-based education or CBE. For the purpose of this presentation, CBE that uses the World Wide Web are repository of instructional information. The Internet as the distribution channel for the content will be referred to as web-based instruction or WBI. As McCormack and Jones wrote in this book entitled Building a Web-Based Education System, it means you can use the web as a repository. Students can access to retrieve any information that would be useful to them. Not only you can use the web to help distribute information, you can also place the information in a form that goes beyond text and takes advantage of the media that will help students understand better and to which they can relate more easily. What is e-learning? Abernathy defines e-learning, also referred as online learning or electronic learning, is the acquisition of knowledge which takes place through electronic technologies and media. In simple language, e-learning is defined as learning that is enabled electronically. Typically, e-learning is conducted on the internet, where students can access their learning materials online at any place and time. E-learning most often takes place in a form of online courses, online degrees, or online programs. Online learning has numerous advantages over traditional learning methods. Some of these include the possibility for students to make use of self-paced learning and choose their own learning environments. Additionally, e-learning is both cost-effective and cost-efficient, as it removes the geographical obstacles often associated with traditional classrooms and education. With that being said, it must be noted that e-learning is not perfect. Conducting of any various types of e-learning through the internet means sacrifices in one way or another. Increased risk of cheating during assessments, social isolation, and lack of communication skill development in online students are just some of the challenges of e-learning which need to be addressed. So we have here several e-learning tools that is being utilized both by the teachers and students. So we have here Google, social media, Facebook, YouTube, Gmail, blog, Skype, Wikipedia, and PowerPoint. We have also here Smart Class. Smart Class is defined as a class in which various technologies are used to enhance students' learning. In a class, there will be computers, projectors, internet connectivity, and other multimedia devices such as home theater, etc. Teachers and students can use internet in their class. The use of smart classes and modern technology eases the learning process for all students. Smart class technology allows students to make presentations online and get feedback from their teachers in less time. Same for teachers who do not need to tell students to make rough notes, as presentation can be shared directly with everyone. So we have here the illustration of smart class. So as we can see here, every student inside the classroom, they have their own individual laptops, and then the teacher has a monitor presenting the topic, and then the student can follow to their laptops. So another illustration, the different components here are smart class, projector, television, smart board, and then the student here also uses a tablet to interact with their teachers and their fellow classmates also inside the classroom. So we have here smart boards or interactive whiteboards. An interactive whiteboard is a large display that connects to a computer and a projector. The projector projects the computer desktop on the board surface. They were developed by PARC around 1990. They can play various types of media and provide teachers with interactive lessons for their students. Interactive whiteboards have various facilities to draw, show video, images, illustrations, maps, graphs, games, manipulative in own way. They are used in a variety of settings, including classrooms at all levels of education. Incorporate boardrooms and work groups in training rooms for professional sports coaching, in broadcasting studios, and others. So we have here some pictures of interactive smart whiteboards. So as we can see, students can perform computation on their mathematics subjects, and then it is much easier for them to participate with their teacher because it is very interactive. Advantages of using interactive smart boards: provides flexible interactive whiteboards, allow photos, illustration, maps, graphs, games, and video to be played. Enhance learning, teaching and learning experience. Interact and share. Low maintenance, smart boards are neat and easy to use. Access to online information and tools. Going green to eco-friendly. Technology integration, communication, interactive whiteboards allow for connectivity in different locations. And then lastly, group interaction. Interactive whiteboards promote collaboration among students in group discussion and participation. They can be effective tool for brainstorming due to the fact that notes can be taken on the board and saved to be shared and distributed to students later. So next we have here the Microsoft PowerPoint. It was released on April 20, 1987 by Forethought Incorporated, later acquired by Microsoft Incorporated. PowerPoint is commonly used for now educational presentation, has selection of transitions as a feature of all which are borrowed from film and television editing techniques. Character animation within the frame and overall dramatic structure are things that are taken from film and television, in particular for use in education computer applications. You can combine text and graphics and multimedia content to create professional presentations. Roles of teacher in integrating technology in classroom. First, educator can provide online classes in long distance. Second, teachers can educate their student documentation of records in computers. Third, educators can encourage shy students to adopt use of technology in learning. Fourth, teachers can teach students effectively by making use of technology to enhance their learning. Next, we have here teachers can make use of technology in learning various topics via internet and implement those in classroom. And then lastly, the effective technology integration for teaching specific content of subject matter requires understanding of the relationship between three components: technology, pedagogy, and content. So we have here, why use technology? Influence students' academic performance. Second, to develop higher order thinking and problem solving. Third, improve student motivation, attitude, and interest in learning. Fourth, to help prepare students for the workforce. Fifth, address the needs of low-performing, at-risk, and learning disabled students. So we have here a saying from George Counos: technology will never replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of a great teacher can be transformational. So we have here some issues in education and technology. So we have 4 issues: legal, ethical, societal, cultural, and educational. Societal issues. Economic conditions. Even though technology nowadays is quite affordable, there are some countries or cities that there are areas that families cannot afford to buy computers, smartphone. So this is also some of the challenges of some schools who cannot acquire this kind of technology, and the student also who does not have this kind of devices in their classes if they are using it in distance learning or e-learning. Second, anti-technology positions. So there are some people or organization who does not like to use technology. And then third, impact of No Child Left Behind. So No Child Left Behind is a program in the US that assures that every children would have an access to computers and technology in their education. We have also here educational issues. First, standards movements. Second, reliance on internet and distance education. Third, debate over directed versus inquiry-based constructive instructional methods. So for cultural and ethics issues, we have here digital divide, racial and gender equity, students with special needs. So we have here one of the issues before, the digital divide. So rich nations, they can able to at least almost they can provide computers in their schools, smartphones, but how about other countries who cannot afford? So this problem of digital divide should be addressed and resolved gradually. Next, we have here legal and ethical issues. So we have here viruses, hacking, plagiarism, privacy, safety, copyright, illegal download, and software piracy. Conclusion. In today's world, technology has a big part of our lives. The use of instructional technology like computers, tablets, smartphones, and the internet helps in the improvements that way we teach and educate our students. With the countless online resources, technology can help improve teaching. Teachers can use different apps or trusted online resources to enhance the traditional ways of teaching and to keep students more engaged. In addition, students can practice collaboration skills by getting involved in different online activities in their respective classes. By using technology in the classroom, both teachers and students can develop skills essential for the 21st century. Students can gain the skills they need to be successful in the future. Modern learning is about collaborating with others, solving complex problems, critical thinking, developing different forms of communication and leadership skills, and improving motivation and productivity. So I have here some references that I used in my presentation. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening. This is Professor Jake Pomperada, Science Specialist 2 of Technological University of the Philippines, Visayas, City of Talisay, Negros Occidental, as your keynote speaker for this third International Conference on Recent Trends in Multidisciplinary Research. Thank you very much for listening. Have a good day.